You're audible, sir. Completely audible. Good evening, everyone. I Ayush Raj, welcome you all for our next webinar on the topic Pune Metro, a typical underground station by Mr. J. Kalyan Kumar, Technical Director at Ecom India Private Limited. Uh, I would like to thank Mr. Kumar for taking his valuable time and agreeing for delivering his valuable experiences in underground construction technology. Just to brief him, he has a 20 years of experience in structural design, detailing, coordination, and project management services of civil engineering structures, which includes underground and elevated metro stations, TBM tunnels, cut and cover tunnels, retaining wall system, and infrastructure buildings. He has he has been closely associated with projects like Riyadh Metro, Lucknow Metro, Chennai Metro, Delhi Metro, Bangalore Metro, and presently with Pune Metro. Apart from this, he has also worked for Mumbai Air Cargo Terminal, Qatar Education City Infrastructure, Qatar Supreme Education Council, which are some other important project which he has been associated with. And he has also published few research papers at international and national level. Without wasting further time, I would like Mr. Kumar to share his screen and give his insight about the presentation. Mr. Kumar.
Hello. All are requested to mute. Actually, only Kalan sir can unmute. Thank you, sir. What to you?
Yeah, thank you for the introduction. I have put the presentation in this slide mode, so hope it is visible to all.
Yes, sir,
Yeah.
it is.
So the presentation today, the topic is the typical underground stations in Pune Metro. The reason why I'm calling the stations as atypical is because there is no similarity. We have like 5 underground stations in Pune Metro, and no two stations are similar. So in respect of geometry, in respect of the construction sequence or the methodology, construction methodology, or the access we have to construct the stations, or the levels, the entrances, the elevations, there are quite dissimilar. So as we go into the presentation, so I'll explain you more about this differences and atypicality. So the slide shows the entire Pune Metro line 1 and 2 corridor, which is currently under progress, and there are like the total length is about 33 kilometers, which is split into corridor 1, line 1, and line 2, and there are total 30 number of stations, out of which 24 are elevated, and the rest 6 are the 25 elevated stations, and the rest 5 stations are underground. So the UG stretch is about 6 kilometers long, and the red highlighted one is the UG stretch, which is starting somewhere near the Range Hill and ending at Swargate or beyond Swargate. And about the other stations, elevated stations, just to give the information, there are at various stages of construction, and we are planning to open about 5 kilometers in line 1 and 5 kilometers in line 2 in elevated in early next year. So this is in a nutshell the complete alignment of Pune Metro. So this is how the alignment looks like. The underground alignment looks like in the Google map. So you can see that the first station is Shivaji Nagar, followed by Civil Court, and then Budwarpet, and Budwarpet is flanked by Mandai station on one side and Civil Court, and the last station is Swargate. And at the end of this, after the station, we have a stabling line because it is like end of the corridor. So from the Google map, you can see that almost all the stations are located within the vicinity of all the major buildings and the critical buildings. So this is the slide which talks why I call this stations atypical. In the next slide, I will show you the details of all the stations, which makes you more understand about the dissimilarities. So why I'm calling them is typical is no two stations are similar. So the sizes are different, the geometry is different, the rail level depths are different, and there are various levels. Because the depth of some of the stations are more, we have added a few levels to make it more efficient. And you see the station locations. One station is on road, some station is off road, some station is located in the midst of critical and dilapidated buildings. One station is located in a quite residential area, and one station is located in a market yard. So that is one aspect which makes them different. And the construction access. So normally a regular underground station will have like 2 or 3 levels of stations, and you follow a bottom up or top down construction sequence. And it's a regular cut and cover methodology we use, construct the station and backfill. So, but here we have stations where we don't have access to build the station. So basically we have split the construction into cut and cover and NATM. NATM is a new Austrian tunneling methodology where we excavate from below into the rock and build the station. So we don't have the access from the top. So we do a cut and cover, go to the bottom and start constructing the station in the horizontal direction. So construction methodology is one thing which I was saying, the cut and cover and NATM, and also the excavation methods. So Pune Metro is basically a hard rock area where we had to resort to blasting methods, controlled blasting, and in some stations we could do normal excavation with chiseling. But based on the rock condition, the hardness of the rock, we had deployed various excavation methods. And also because of the tunneling sequence, because there were some delays in land handing over of land, certain lands in the stations, the tunneling proceeded first, and we had to build the station around the tunneling sequence. So different stations have different methodologies and different sequences. That's the reason why I'm calling them atypical. So if you see this, yeah, this is the slide which shows all the stations in one slide. So Shivaji Nagar, starting from Shivaji Nagar to Swargat, there are 5 stations. And if you take the first station, Shivaji Nagar, the length is about 175 and width is 28 meters. The rail level is 17.6, around 17 meters. So this is the narrowest station, not so deep. So basically it's an on-road station, and it's like a regular 2-level station. And the specialty of the station is, as the name suggests, Shivaji Nagar. So the client wanted the entry elevations representing the Shivaji Maharaj culture. So the entry elevations are so designed that it has a historical flavor. And not only that, the connectivity of the station with the other transport hubs is also one of the peculiarities in this station. So next comes the Civil Court station. It's the deepest station, which is the rail level is about 28.8 meters. So because we had such a deep station, we could add like 3 or 4 levels into it, which makes it a 5-level station. So it's the deepest station with the cut and cover methodology which you use. And the specialty of this station is like we resorted. It is basically interchange station. It is also connected to the elevated corridor. And it also is in the vicinity of the district court. And it's also near to the line 3, which is in the proposal stage for Pune Metro, the corridor 3. So bringing all these aspects, drawing upon all these aspects, the station is so designed that we wanted an openness in the middle. So because of which we had introduced a skylight. So in the next few slides, I'll show you the details. And the entrances which we wanted for this is with a modern touch. So next comes the Budwarpet station, and it's in the midst of all the residential area. So as I said before, because we did not have proper access to build the station, we had to do partially cut and cover and then resort to NATM methodology. So it also has like 4 levels because of the rail level. And if you see, the length is restricted to 150 meter with a width of 24. And Mandai, if you see, the next station is Mandai, and the rail level is about 21 meter, and it is like partially on and off road. Here also we had the condition what we had for Budwarpet, the less access from the top, because of which we had to carry out cut and cover methodology partially to build the station and also the ATM. And because the cut and cover area is quite less, we had to shift some of these services into the top floors, that is above ground. So we have below ground and above ground metro services within the station. And because we could not accommodate the entrances within the available land, we had to resort to long subways. So that is one of the peculiarities of the station. And this is also located near the market hub. The last station is the Swargate station, which is again off-road station. And also here also the rail level is 26 meter, and the length of this station is the longest. It is about 185 meter. And it is also located in a place, strategically located in a place where you can connect to the other transport hubs, like the state transport and the other transport options. And also we have some property development above and around the station. So if you see this slide, you will understand that each station is so different from the other station. Yeah, this is one station, the first station, Shivaji Nagar. If you can see, this red highlighted one is the main station area. Okay, and this blue highlighted one is the MSRTC, that is the Maharashtra State Road Transport bus terminal. So in a way, it is connected with this terminal, and the entrances are so designed that one entrance goes to the railway station, which is on the top, and it connects to that railway station. And another entrance is near an AAR establishment, which is a government office. So the specialty of this station, though it is a regular two-level underground station, is the connectivity with the state transport and the railway station. So this is the cross-sectional view of this station. So we have extended concourse. This is the undercroft platform, extended concourse roof, and some ancillary part above the roof. This is a Revit 3D model, rendered model, which gives an idea of how the station will look like. Though this is a black and white model, it gives you an idea of the 3D-ness of the station. So this is a station, and this is the entrance AAR, and this is the other entrance which is connecting to the railway station. And this is the interchange point with the state transport. And this is the two-level station. And this, you can see these tunnels which are connecting to the end wall of the stations on either side. So this is another view of the same station, but a cross section cut through the 3D rendered view. This rendered views are created in Revit. So you can see that this is the main public area, the fare office and all that, and the entrances leading the people to from the concourse to the platform. And there are some shafts which are going above the station. And this is the ancillary building which is coming above the station, above the roof slab. And partially all this area is under the road. Yeah, so here we have adopted this historical flavor in the elevations. So these are the proposed elevations for the station. About 3 entrances are there. And you can see that we have this historical, tinge in this, like the forts in Pune or in and around Pune have this kind of color, texture, and the shapes. So this shape, the circular or the dome shape, is from the picked up from the Pune forts. Yeah, the next station, the second station underground, is Civil Court. So again, this is also a better connected. So yeah, as I said before, this is the district court. That's why the name of the station is called Civil Court. And we have entrances which are leading to the nearest roads, and some future entrances which are planned for future development. Okay, so this is the cross-sectional view of the station. As I said before, the rail level is about 28 meters below ground. So this is almost the plinth of the ground level, and this is the rail level. And you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That is like we have undercroft platform, mezzanine, 3 mezzanines, concourse, and the roof level. So because the station is deep, we could add some levels And at some levels, we are using that for property developments, reserve the spaces for property development. And the main theme of this station, because we wanted a grand look for the station. So all this area in the middle, so it's about 50-meter long in the middle, is open. So open to sky. So we have a skylight arrangement at the top, which gives an open feeling. And there's a mid landing through which all the public will be using to reach the platform from the ground level to the platform. So the only problem we had is with the structures. We had a challenge in terms of structural design because we have such long walls, the deep walls, retaining walls, because of the earth pressure, which is like 30 meters below ground. These walls have to resist earth pressure, and there is little lateral support which we got in terms of some struts at the top and the mid landing at this level. So these walls are quite thicker, so about 1.7 meter thick at the bottom, and with varying thickness at the top. So that's the structural. Architecturally, we wanted to look grand, but that has posed some structural challenges on the design. Yeah, this is the 3D view which you can see. I can just briefly explain you. Actually, we have a crossover in front of the station, and that is also there is no access from the top. So that's the reason why we have built through NATM methodology. So this is the crossover, and the station starts from here up to here, and from where the tunneling starts. And this is the skylight which I'm talking about, which gives an open and grand look at the center. And these are the entrances which are connected to the district court, and the subway is connected to the nearest court and the future development. So these are some other views, better view on the right, which you can see the openness, feel the openness in the station. So the people getting down from the ground will come to this mid landing level, use this winding staircases or the escalators and go down to the platform. So yeah, and this is the view of the skylight at certain angle. So that gives you some openness. And this is the view which is cut through the 3D model, which I've shown in the previous slide. So civil court station, this is the specialty, openness and a deep station, more number of levels. And within the levels, we could use for property development and the connection. So entrances here had some, because we had this offices close by and the district court and the connectivity to the future development. The client wanted a modern feel to the entrances. So this is how these entrances were proposed with glass and some, open atrium kind of thing. So the previous station had historical flavor in the elevations, while this station had some modern feel. Yeah. So the next station is the Budwarpet station, which is, I think, the critical of all the 5 stations. So you can see this is the length of the station. The complete length of the station is about 150 meter. And you can see that this station is located just below the building, proposed in the vicinity of the building, in the vicinity of the buildings. So fortunately, we were able to get these buildings in our handover and could demolish. So this portion is constructed in cut and cover methodology. We went all the way down and started constructing this portion of the station in NATM. So yeah, it's a combination of cut and cover and NATM were chosen based on the access we have for the constructing the station. And though there were buildings around, the contractor has to resort to controlled blasting because manual excavation or mechanical excavation would take a very long time. So, but we made sure that they adhere to the PPV limits for vibration and also the noise. So there is another difference within the station is on the left side, because the land was handed over late, the tunneling has proceeded before. So the tunneling was done up to here, and this NATM portion was enlarged after breaking out the segments. While on the other side, so it's a NATM from the starting stage.
वहाँ 4 व्हीलर आपने नहीं क्या?
No.
अंदर ले लो टाइम है तो सब चले गए, गाड़ी तो चले गए।
Okay.
वो कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो गया तो
ठीक.
हाँ जल्दी आओ अंदर ले।
Yeah, sorry for the disturbance. Yeah, this is the plan view of the station. The blue portion is the curtain cover, where we could get some access from the top and build like a regular curtain cover with secant piles and going down bottom of sequence. And the right ones are the NATM portions. So if I cut a section through this, this is the this is how the section of the station looks like. Yeah, the central portion is the curtain cover, and we could build build some secant piles and dig up all the way through to the down, and then started constructing the NATM on either side. Yeah, so this is the section which looks like in the NATM portion of the station. So this is also part of the station, but because NATM, the maximum depth of the NATM is like 10 to 11 meters, so that could only reach up to the platform level. So, so the difference with compared to the other stations is the platform is suspended compared to the the track length is suspended in this case because we wanted to accommodate some TVS shafts below this track length. So compared to other stations where the track length is normally supported on the underground, undercraft. So this is the arrangement we have in the NATM portion, the platform and the suspended track length and the trains and the platform. Yeah, so briefly I'll explain you the sequence which is followed for constructing the station, the NATM portion of the station. So I'm not going into the details, but I'll just give you a brief sequence. So this is the entire NATM which I've shown in the previous slide. So to construct this is basically split into 4 stages, like heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, and the benching. So this is the first stage where this portion of the station or the NATM is targeted, and this is built with NATM with taking the appropriate support measures. So once this is done up to a certain extent, we build this portion of the station, this portion of the NATM, which is like heading 2, and once this portion is dig and constructed and with supported adequately, the other portion heading 3 is done, and once this portion heading 1, 2, 3 are done, then we target the bench and construct the NATM portion. So NATM is basically we have a primary lining which is temporary lining with short crate, some rock bolt supports and wire mesh, and we also have the permanent lining where it will be in concrete. So these are some of the pictures which give you an idea like how the construction is going on. So this is the stage 1 where this heading 1 is done for the NATM portion, and this is like after heading 1, heading 2 is done, and this is the heading 3 portion which is yet to be constructed. So these are the work in progress pictures. Yeah. So as I said before, because there was a delay in handing over of land, certain portion of the NATM could not be constructed. The one side of the NATM, one side of the station, one part of the NATM could not be constructed in time, and the tunneling has proceeded before. So because of which they have erected the temporary segments. So in this sequence, they have slightly changed the sequence of the NATM. This portion was constructed first, dug first, and the temporary segments are removed, and this portion has been constructed up to a certain extent. So once this heading 1 is done, in the second stage, this heading 2 is targeted, and this portion was done to have some stability in the middle. So this portion is constructed in the last out of the 3 stages, and this is the heading 3. And so once this heading 1, 2, 3 are completed, this benching is done. So the slight variation in sequence of the NATM within the station itself. So on one side you have a straightforwardly 1, 2, 3 sequence for constructing the NATM, and on the other side we have like 1, 3 and 2. Yeah, so this is the sequence for the other side. Like once they start heading 1, so they have the segments which are temporary segments erected through TBM tunnel, which are broken out, and this is extended to build the NATM portion. Yeah, some more pictures which show with more clarity the central column here. If you can see, so this is the central column. So this is heading 1, heading 3, and then this is constructed. This is excavated. Yeah, this is the view again, the Revit model view of the station. You can see that this portion, the rectangular portion, is the cut and cover, regular cut and cover portion through which we have excavated down and could construct through bottom-up sequence, and which is flanked by NATM on both sides, and which is extended by a TBM tunnel. So this portion, the NATM plus cut and cover plus NATM, is what the station is. And we have some levels above the stations which are proposed in future, though the load has been taken in the station now. And this is the other view which is cut through the 3D model. You can see the tunnel which is getting terminated at the NATM, and the NATM starts from here up to the cut and cover portion, and the cut and cover box is in the middle, again followed by NATM and the tunnel. So there are some services above the building, and some property development also is proposed, which is in the future, though it is shown in the model. Yeah, again, the elevations here is again different from what we have followed in Shivaji Nagar or Civil Court. In Shivaji Nagar, we had this historical thing, and Civil Court, we had a modern feel. And Budwarpet, the client wanted to have a Pune culture, so this Peshwai flavor has been brought in with the materials and the texture and the color. So these are only the proposals which are at this stage, though they may get refined further. So this is the elevations which are proposed for Budwarpet. So the next station is Monday station, which is almost like Budwarpet, like in terms of combination of cut and cover and NATM. But the only difference is the cut and cover portion is split up into 2, and it is also very limited. So you can see here, this is the whole station. So this portion where my mouse is moving is the cut and cover portion, and also this is a cut and cover, and which is followed by NATM to the left and to the left of this box. So because we did not have access for this, we could accommodate only one entrance in one of the boxes. We had to have this long subways which are running to the nearest public points to have the entrances. So this is how we could build. We proposed like 1, 2, and 1 entrance on the top of the station. So like we have 3 entrances for this station, but to connect to the entrances, we have to build this long subway surface. So this again, here you can see that there are a lot of buildings in and around the proposed station, and also major market hub around the station. So here also we the sequence of an ATM on one side and the other side was followed, and the blasting and all were taken carried out with adherence to all the strict limits which we have. So this explains you what is cut and cover and what is an ATM. The blue one again is the cut and cover box, which is built with secant piles, some anchoring system going down, building the box bottom up, and then building the NATM in the horizontal direction at that level. Yeah, so this again, the station, as I said, it's also located in the vicinity of critical buildings and the major market yard. And the combination of for building the station, we had to use cut and cover and an ATM, and blasting adopted, but with strict following the strict limits of noise and vibration. And also here also, because there were some delays in handing over of the station lands, the tunneling has proceeded before, and the sequence of NATM had to be modified around the tunneling operations. And the other specialty of this station is because, as I said before, this cut and cover portion, the boxes, the size is not same as what we had in Budwarpet. So in Budwarpet, though we had small portion, the area was enough that we could accommodate all the services within the underground box. But in Monday station, we did not have that luxury. So some of the services had to be shifted to the top. So this is like partially underground and above ground station. Now this is the sectional view of the station. The middle portions, the blue portions are cut and cover boxes, and which are flanked by an ATM on either side in red color. So as I said, you can see the fans housed on the top floors, above ground floors, which is not the case in other stations. Yeah, this is the 3D view. Again, the cut and cover boxes in rectangle, an ATM in the middle, and which is followed by TBM tunnel. And you could see this long subways. There is no other way to have the entrances or connectivity. So we have to have this long subways, which is an additional cost, but there is no other way because we could only accommodate one entrance here and there was no facility here to accommodate the other entrance. Normally we need two entrances for an underground station. So we had to have one entrance which is closest, but connected with a long subway. Yeah, this is also another sectional view of the station in the NATM portion. Slightly different from what we have seen in Budwarpet. So Budwarpet, as I have told you, this track plinth was supported on a suspended slab because we had to accommodate some shafts below it. But that's not the case here. So the platform slab with the UP walls supported on the originating from the secondary lining or the permanent lining of an ATM, and the track plinth can be supported on a PCC and the track plinth, first stage and second stage. Yeah, this is the last station of the underground and also the last station of Corridor 3 of the Line 2 of Pune Metro, which is also followed by a stabling line because this being a terminal station. In plan, I'm showing you this footprint of the metro station in this magenta color, and there is a parallel development which is going on right now, which is called MMTH, Multimodal Transport Hub, okay, which is like a property development adjacent to the station with a parking and connectivity to the other transport hubs which are existing in this in and around the station. And this is the subway. And if you see in the cross section, yeah, this is the metro station in magenta, and for the metro station itself, there is a property development above the station. So this structure had to take in the loads of the future development above the station, and this is the development, MMTH development, which is happening just next to the station, which is like has like 3 or 4 floors below ground and some stories above ground. So the challenge in this is like it is like integrated, but the problem was the design and construction is segregated. So the metro station is constructed by one contractor, whereas this MMTH development and the other developments are being handled by some other contractors. So and the problem was the construction has to go in tandem. So there are a lot of interface issues in design as well as at site, which have to be navigated through and start constructing. So so now the construction is parallelly going for the metro station on one side and MMTH on one side, and though these are the future ones. And there is also another development, which is also happening at the same time, which is the terminal which is being created for Pune municipality buses. So if you see in this, so there's a big integrated development. Just one entity is metro station, but you have this multimodal transport hub on one side, property development on the top, future development just adjacent to the metro station, and also PMPML bus terminus on the other side. So all this have to be accounted for in design as well as construction. Yeah. Yeah, some of the salient points of the station. Station is strategically located around the major transport hubs, so which gives it major importance to the station because it is connected. As I said before, parallel and future developments are happening, which impose structural challenges to the metro station, not only to the metro station, but the developments which are happening, and that is like vice versa. And there are open spaces have been adopted while doing the architectural layout. There are open spaces have been adopted in the middle of the station, which gives a open feel. There are large circular openings in the middle of the station. I'll show you some slides which justify that. And also you can see there is an integrated seamless movement between various transport hubs. So this is MSRTC, that is Maharashtra State Transport. This is the station and transport hub which is being created, and there is another subway which is connected to the other side of the road. And as I said, there is also another development here, which is like Pune municipality buses or bus terminus. So all these transport hubs have been created through subways or integrated through subways to have a seamless a seamless connectivity for the customers or the passengers. So passengers from MSRTC can get to the station or to the mall or the property development or to the PMPML, that is Pune municipality, or just cross the road to the other side. And also there are like flyover which is already existing on this side. So basically a major transport hub which has uh, imposed a lot of challenges on the construction and design, which led to a lot of interface issues, though they are sorted to some extent now. Yeah, yeah, this is the longitudinal section of the station, Swargate station. So here you can see in the middle portion, there is an open skylight, which is opening something like this with varying size to the top. And there is a future development which is proposed, which will be built now, and that will also have some openness in and around this skylight. So they have only the movement of the people here, and which gives you an overall openness to the entire development. So these are some of the views, 3D views, which show the skylight in different angles. Yeah, this is the 3D model, which you can see again, like civil code. There is a crossover in front of the station, which is again built to an ATM sequence. This is the one, followed by station. And we have some stabling lines, which are also small horseshoe shaped tunnels, NATM tunnels, which are like projecting out of the, like beyond the station for about 180 meters. And this is the subway which is going all the way and connecting to the other road. And this is the subway which is just adjacent to the road. So this MMTH is not shown, but this is the station model per se. This is the picture, the current picture, which shows the entire development. So this part is the metro station. So the entire development excavation has been done with secant piles, with like 4 or 5 layer of anchors, ground anchors, followed by rock excavation with certain slope in the hard rock. So once that is done, as I said before, there are 2 contractors who are involved in metro and the development adjacent to it. So this is the metro station which is getting developed. This is the undercroft level, and at the next level, and this is the development which is like a building which is coming up next to the station. So we had this challenge, the interface at this location, like we have the metro station retaining wall just abutting the MMTH, or the parallel development retaining wall. So that is one of the challenges we faced. Yeah, so this is what I have for today. Just I tried to show though we have 5 stations, all the 5 stations are different in respect of various aspects like geometry, construction sequence, their connectivity, their elevations, and all. So this is what I have, and I have a video which has a collection of pictures which will be interesting. I can stop the presentation after this video. So this is one of the stations, Katangaon station, Shivaji Nagar station, which has like 2 levels undercroft, and this is the crossover which is in front of the civil court station where the TBMs were retrieved and placed there. So the primary lining is in. Yeah, this view shows you the tunnels. Yeah, this is the shuttering which they are doing for the secondary lining of the same crossover, NATM crossover of civil court. The crossover which is in front of the civil. This is the completed lining, and this is the construction which they have started for the NATM portion in Budwarpet. Like heading 1 and heading 2, and heading 1 has proceeded quite inside. Another view of the same. Yeah, so this is the sequence where the tunneling has proceeded before, and you could see the segments there. Yeah, this is the portion where tunneling has proceeded and the TBM is retrieved. This is the crossover at Swargate in front of the Swargate station. Yeah, this is the general view. Sorry about that. So this is the another crossover. The primary lining is in with some supports. This is the Swargate station where the transport hub is being built, metro station in parallel. This is the stabling lines with primary lining after the Swargate station. You could see some lattice girders installed as part of primary support. Yeah, I think that's the last picture in the video. So with that, I come to the end. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for such a intellectual and lovely presentation. This session is now open for question answer. If somebody has any question, they can ask Kumar sir about with their questions.
Good evening, sir. My name is Shikhar Thakur. Sir, I want to. Is there any difficulty in the geology, like you have get some dike or some fault during the NATM or the during the NATM or tunneling?
No, for tunneling, we did not have any major surprises, but for NATM in one crossover, we had the rock what we have anticipated in the design. But in the other crossover, we have 2 crossovers through NATM. One crossover was okay. The other crossover, we had issues of seepage, but not faults or any big surprises as such. Yeah, we have the issue of seepage, so which we are addressing through grouting to a certain extent, but we could not address it completely.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir, I think we have received one question from Samira. Sir, can you elaborate more on the places where the tunnel had already passed?
Elaborate in the sense, I'm not sure what you mean by that, but at the station, as I've said, one side of the cut and cover box, we have NATM, and there the tunneling has passed. The tunneling was done. So they have laid sacrificial segments, which had to be broken out when they build the NATM. So they have enlarged the NATM part around the segment rings. Yeah.
Sir Ayush here.
Yeah.
I want to ask one thing about the NATM stations which we have carried in Budwarpet and other stations. How we have tackled the situation, the TVS and the ventilation system of the tunnels and the airflow of the tunnels.
Yeah, if you have seen the cross section for Budwarpet, I've shown you, we have taken the TVS shafts below the platform, below the track length. Okay, so the track length, the NATM invert to the rail level is about 2 meters. Invert, the top of the invert to the rail level is about 2 meters, and we have used that space to accommodate the TVS shafts. So that's the reason why I've said that the track length is not supported on the underground. It is like a suspended slab. So that is the place where we have used the placed the TVS shafts.
Okay.
Hello, sir. Chiranjeev this side. I have one small query. We can see that there is used deep excavation also. So in the busy city like Pune, there should be some buildings, these things also. So hope that safety of the adjacent structure has been ensured before going for this kind of deep excavation thing, sir.
Yeah, it's normally done, right? In any underground this one contracts, we do the building condition survey and we propose some strengthening methods if they are in a bad stage. So the same has been done for Budwarpet. Budwarpet is a critical place, the critical station, where there are a lot of buildings in bad shape around the station. So some buildings, I think 2 or 3 buildings have been proposed to be demolished, and a few buildings have been proposed to be propped, to strengthen them during the excavation. And some buildings were just right next to the excavation or blasting. The people have been evacuated to a safe place. So about for residents in 6 to 7 buildings have been evacuated. So and at other locations we did not have any major problems because Shivaji Nagar was like below road station, though it is away from the buildings. Civil court is off road. Swargate is also like off road. So major problem we had was with Budwarpet and also to certain extent in Mandai.
Sir, we have one question from Jatinder Sharma that how did you limited the vibration during NATM blasting in low overburden?
Yeah, we what we did is we specified some limits in the contract. Like if the building is in a bad state, you limit the vibration to 5 ppb. So that's how we have asked the contractor to design their blasting so that the charge rate and all those have been suitably modified, and the blasting area is also confined, and they have used some blasting pads and all those things to make sure that the limits are not exceeded. So at locations like Civil Court and Shivaji Nagar, where there are no major threats from the buildings, we have allowed stretched out limits. But in place like Budwarpet, we have strictly followed the limits by making some changes in the blasting pattern. Yeah.
Anyone have question? Then
I think we have received all the questions, and that has been explained very well by Kumar sir. Before handing over to Chiranjeev, I would just like to make a small announcement that with the help of TAI, the TOM is trying to create a database where we are trying to gather all the challenges faced during the tunneling work, the underground construction work. The detail about that will be mailed to you shortly, so you can check your mails from TOM about the database thing. Now hand it over to Chiranjeev for the vote of thanks.
yeah, special thank to Kallan sir. I especially work under Kallan sir in I think 3 projects in Lucknow, LKCC 06, then LKCC 05, and then Chennai Metro. So it was personally my pleasure, sir, to have to see you. It's nice presentation. We learn a lot about the project, we can see that each and every station have their its uniqueness. So it quite challenging, tough. So thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. So,
Thank
okay.
you all. Thank you all for tuning in.
Thanks to all for their valuable time for this webinar. Thank you all.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.